Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, hockey fans. Seems like everyone is super hyped for this one USA versus Canada, and we're going to dive deep into all the online chatter, all the buzz surrounding this epic matchup. And let me tell you, the internet is totally buzzing right now.
It really is amazing how this one single matchup, just captures the imagination like no other. We're seeing a massive surge in searches, not just for the game itself, but for the history of the players, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so first things first, right? We got to get to the score. Everyone wants to know who won, who walked away with the W. Did the searches actually reveal like a clear winner?
Well, that's kind of where the mystery begins. We're seeing tons of searches for who won the hockey game tonight, USA versus Canada hockey score, but not really any definitive answers yet.
Ooh, wow.
Seems like we got some serious edge-of-your-seat suspense going on here.
Okay, so the tension is building, for sure. Now I'm seeing a ton of searches for four nations face-off, or just four nations.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of context on that?
For sure. The four nations, that refers to like an elite international tournament, usually features Canada, USA, Finland, and Sweden. It's a real proving ground for the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And it has a history and, just chock full of iconic moments and heated rivalries.
So this US-Canada game that we're looking at could have been a part of this four nations showdown, which makes the missing score even more intriguing. All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the players who are fueling this frenzy. Connor McDavid is practically breaking the internet right now. Is McJesus actually living up to all the hype?
Oh, McDavid's a total force of nature out there on the ice. And what's really interesting is we're seeing just as many searches for his assists as for his goals.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like fans aren't just interested in his scoring ability, but, in his playmaking, how he elevates his teammates. And that says a lot about his impact on the game.
So it's not just about individual glory for him. It's about McDavid's ability to orchestrate the whole game, which honestly makes him even more dangerous. But McDavid's not the only name generating buzz. We're also seeing a lot of searches for Nathan MacKinnon, Brady Stakak, Cale Makar, Jake Sanderson, Seth Jarvis, and Sam Reinhart. That's a lot of talent right there.
Yeah, it really speaks to the depth of talent on both sides. MacKinnon, for instance, isn't just known for his speed and power, but also for his clutch performances in big games,
Yeah.
His ability to really rise to the occasion is probably why we're seeing so many searches for highlights and stats.
So if you're looking for some explosive plays and game-changing moments, MacKinnon is definitely your guy. Now, Trikachuk is another name that keeps popping up. What's driving all this interest in his game?
Well, Trikachuk brings kind of this unique blend of grit and scoring, and he's got a bit of an edge to his game. He's not afraid to get physical out there and stir things up, which always adds another layer of intensity to these USA-Canada matchups.
Yeah, he's the kind of player that you love if he's on your team, but maybe not so much if he's on the other side.
Exactly.
It's interesting how these searches reveal not just the player skills, but also the kind of hockey that fans are really drawn to. It's like everyone is seeking out those specific moments that really define this rivalry, the speed, the skill, and maybe a little bit of the rough stuff, too.
Absolutely. These searches are like a window into the heart and soul of this rivalry. And it's clear that fans are craving more than just, goals and saves. They want the passion, the drama, those unforgettable moments that make this matchup so legendary.
They want the whole package.
They want it all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
the full experience.
We've talked about the score or lack thereof of the Four Nations tournament. Some of the star players driving all this online buzz, but there's so much more to uncover. So stay tuned as we continue to dive deeper into this epic USA versus Canada showdown.
It's kind of wild how these searches show not only the interest in, individual players, but also like a bigger shift in how people are watching hockey. The crazy amount of searches for where to watch USA versus Canada hockey tells me streaming is like the big thing now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like people aren't tied to cable schedules and, traditional broadcasts anymore. They want to catch the game however they want, live on demand, even just highlights on their phones.
This whole move to streaming has been huge for hockey, I think. It's opened up the sport to so many more people, and it's created all these new ways for fans to connect with the game.
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of connecting, though, there's one search term that really stood out to me. U.S.-Canada hockey fight.
Okay, now that's interesting. This rivalry is definitely known for, its intensity.
Right.
But are people really out there searching for fights? Like, what's the appeal there?
Well, I think it shows just how much raw emotion there is in this rivalry. It's not just about skill and strategy, it's about heart grit and those moments where things just boil over, you know? It's part of what makes this matchup so exciting.
So it's almost like fans want to see those moments that really capture the essence of this rivalry. The passion, the physicality, the edge-of-your-seat drama. But it's not all about the on-ice battles, is it? We're also seeing some interesting searches that kind of hint at a political side to all of this Trudeau hockey, Trump hockey. How did politics get dragged onto the ice?
Well, hockey is deeply woven into the cultures of both the U.S. and Canada, right? It's a huge source of national pride. And, in a world where things are so politically divided, sometimes it's not surprising to see those feelings spill over into sports.
So in a way, the hockey rink becomes a stage for all these bigger cultural and political tensions to play out.
Yeah.
Even if it's just in a lighthearted way.
Exactly.
But this also brings up an interesting question. Are these searches coming from diehard hockey fans or from people who are just interested in the spectacle of it all?
It's probably a mix of both. You've got the dedicated fans who watch every game, know all the players, and could debate the finer points of the sport for hours.
Right.
But then you've also got folks who might not watch hockey regularly, but are drawn in by the sheer magnitude of this matchup. The USA versus Canada game kind of transcends the sport and becomes a cultural event.
It's like the Super Bowl of hockey.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to be a part of it, even if they aren't diehard fans. Now, let's go back to something you mentioned earlier about the shift to streaming and how that's changing how people watch hockey. What are some of the big takeaways from all those where-to-watch searches?
Well, the first takeaway is that fans have way more choices than ever before. Traditional networks like ESPN and NBC Sports are still big, but streaming services like ESPN+, Hulu Live TV, and YouTube TV are catching up fast.
And then there's the NHL's own streaming service, right? NHL.tv, which gives you access to tons of hockey content beyond just this one game.
Exactly. And all these options have led to this more personalized viewing experience. You can watch what you want, when you want, and on whatever device you want. You're not tied to cable packages and strict broadcast schedules anymore.
This freedom and flexibility has really changed how people engage with hockey, for sure. But let's not forget that this rivalry is more than just a game or a streaming option. It's full of history, iconic moments, and legendary players.
You got it. This rivalry has produced some of the most unforgettable moments in hockey history. From the Miracle on Ice back in 1980 to Sidney Crosby's golden goal in 2010, these games have a way of becoming a part of our collective memory.
And every new game just adds another chapter to this amazing story. It's what keeps this rivalry so interesting. The history, the passion, the feeling that you're watching something truly special.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great place to take a quick break. So stay with us. We'll be right back with more on this epic USA versus Canada rivalry. All right, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into this USA versus Canada showdown. And let's be real. This rivalry just never gets old. Every game adds another chapter, another layer of intensity, a bunch of new legendary moments.
Yeah, it's the mix of history, talent, and that national pride that keeps this rivalry going strong, even after, decades of battles on the ice. Every game is more than just a game. It's a clash of styles, a real test of will, and a reflection of how the sport is evolving.
And speaking of evolving, I'm noticing a lot of searches for rematch, which tells me everyone's already looking forward to the next one. But what about the future of this rivalry beyond just the next game? With all this young talent coming up on both sides, what can we expect down the road?
Well, we talked about the impact of guys like McDavid and McKinnon, but the future goes way beyond just a couple of stars. It's about the development systems, the coaching, and the overall direction of both national programs.
So it's not just about who's playing today. It's about that next generation coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in the searches that might hint at what's to come?
There's this growing interest in the college hockey scene, especially in the U.S. Players like Jake Sanderson and Seth Jarvis, who, they honed their skills in college before going pro. Those are becoming really popular search terms.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like people are paying attention to those talent pipelines and recognizing that the future of the rivalry is being shaped at the college level right now.
That's really cool. It's like they're scouting the future stars, before they even make it to the NHL.
Yeah.
But it's not all about individual players, is it? The game itself is changing constantly, new strategies and styles popping up all the time. How is that reflected in the searches?
One interesting thing is the focus on speed and skill. People are searching for those highlights of end-to-end rushes, slick passing plays, amazing individual efforts.
Right.
And it reflects how the game is becoming faster, more dynamic, and it's something we'll definitely see more of in the future.
So maybe those days of the super physical defense-first hockey are fading away, and we're going to see a more offensive, high-flying game.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder how those changing styles will affect the USA versus Canada rivalry. Will one country adapt better than the other? Are we going to see a whole new kind of hockey come out of this?
Those are the questions that make this rivalry so interesting, It's not stuck in the past. It's constantly evolving, just like the sport itself. And that's what keeps fans coming back for more. Knowing that every game could bring something new unexpected, something that adds to this whole story.
As we finish up this deep dive, it's clear that this USA versus Canada rivalry is more than just a game. It reflects national pride, it shows how hockey is changing, and it's a source of endless fascination for the fans.
It goes beyond the sport itself and connects with something deeper, something that links generations of fans through memories, amazing moments, and just the spirit of competition.
So the next time you're watching these two hockey giants face off, remember this. You're not just watching a game. You're seeing a piece of history, a testament to the power of sport, and a story that continues to unfold every time they hit the ice. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the heart of the USA versus Canada hockey rivalry. We'll catch you next time.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.